Hi, and welcome to today's session, Hacktoberfest 2024 with the Jenkins project. My name is Darin Pope. I'm a developer advocate with CloudBees, and along with me today, I do have Mark Waite. Mark, how are you doing?
Great, Darin. How about you?
Good. So last week we did open rewrite going from 11 to 17. That's Java 11 to 17. Today we're going to attempt going from JUnit 4 to JUnit 5. Now you might ask yourself, why should we go to JUnit 5? I'm asking myself that question too.
Yeah, well,
is there any good reason?
Well, so certainly the JUnit maintainers have put a lot of thought into what should a unit testing API, how should it appear, how should it present itself to a developer. And JUnit 5 is their latest incarnation, their best idea of what's the best way to do it. And so they've got some really cool ideas in it. However, there are compromises there because JUnit 4 had lived long enough in the Jenkins project that we've got a bunch of capabilities that we've added to JUnit 4 that are just now arriving in the JUnit 5 ecosystem. So the most crucial ones are there, but others are not.
I guess we're going to trip over that in a few minutes, aren't we?
We may. Actually, we may not. I tripped over in the Git plugin.
Okay.
But if we're not testing something that needs a Git repository, we may not trip over it because the primary one is Jenkins rule, and that one is nicely supported.
Right. And we're not going to do the Git plugin, thankfully.
No.
That would be, we would start today and it would go for a few days straight through.
Well, and there's enough obscurity in there that it's not really worth it. Let's keep something simple here today.
Today's simple is going to be the schedule build plugin, which Mark is the primary maintainer for, which means we don't have to wait for anybody. So that's the reason why we're going to take a look at that. And we might look at a couple others depending on how schedule build goes because I haven't tried to run this recipe against it. Mark, I'm assuming you haven't tried running against schedule build.
Good. This is absolutely, we're doing it live.
Okay, good. So what we're going to do, once I share the screen here, we're going to follow the recipe. Poorly named. Every one of their other recipes are migrate from to. This one is migrate to from. So I looked at this and I went, wait, is this right? Because it's like, why would I ever want to go back to 4? Oh, wait, I misread it. Habits.
Actually, I like that phrasing better. I like that they lead with the destination, but then the others would need to be rephrased. So yeah.
Yeah, because you can look at the left nav here. Migrate to actually, these are all to froms. Then I thought we looked at one. Oh, you know what it is? They always do 2 up front. We're going down the wrong path.
Right.
And they may not say the from.
Right. And the fact is, with migrate to Java 17, they're willing to do multiple migrations, right? They're willing to do Java 8 to Java 17. And so, yeah, let's do it.
Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're going to try to do 4 to 5. I have to say it that way because I'm thinking that way. Now, we're not going to go into all the full step-by-steps for open rewrite today. Go back to last week's video where we did open rewrite from 11 to 17 or from 2 to 17 from 11. We'll say it their way. And follow all the things we have to do. Now, we learned a few things. We know that we have to put in a open rewrite Maven plugin. Right? We know that.
Right.
So before we even start copying and doing anything, I've got schedule build up here, actually. Let's say get checkout -B because I'll forget.
Right.
What are we going to call this?
How about JUnit 4 to JUnit 5?
To 5.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So let's take a look first at our POM XML. Do we have any? No, we don't have any plugins right now. Maven plugins.
Right. We don't have any build section at all.
We don't have a build section.
All the defaults.
Right. Yep. So good. We'll just come over here and copy the whole thing. And we'll bring it down here. And fortunately and unfortunately, this has Spotless already in it. So let's go ahead and just run this. So we don't run into anything silly. Oh, what did I do wrong? Interesting. I must have whacked the slash. Or is it just not there? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, it's not. That's
okay. All right. Well,
time for a pull request.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's easy. Let's go ahead and run Spotless again. Spotless was still doing its job even when it wasn't supposed to. Okay, good.
Yeah, nice. Very nicely done.
Okay, that's there. Now, we remember, if you watched last week's or the previous video to this one, all we have to do is run Maven rewrite run.
Correct.
That's it. So let's run it. Again, magical things are happening under the hood through Open Rewrite.
They do amazing things.
So let's just let this sit here and run and see if it finds anything. A little bit of downloading of the internet. That's pretty good. Not surprising. Or maybe it is surprising.
No, it's going to take its time.
And that's okay. Mark, we need to turn your volume up. Can you go back over to that place and see if you got D75'd?
Sure, let's see.
Un75'd?
Let's see what it was. It was something about sounds. It was settings, right, Darin?
Yep.
Settings. Okay, let's see if and then sound settings, and now a device microphone. Yeah, I'm back down to 38. Okay,
There it
now
is.
I'm up.
I heard a difference. Okay.
Is that
Yep.
any better?
Yep. You're
Good.
breaking up a little
Okay,
bit. That's
well,
fine.
so I'll leave it up.
Okay. Yep.
Don't know why it readjusted itself, but we're back.
Okay. So we found some changes. Good. Assert to assertions. Update. So we got multiples here. Okay. So that's good. So what do we want to do? I guess we need to look and see what they are first. I guess that would help. Actually, here. Let's go to the diff.
Yeah, let's see the
Because
diffs.
that'll be easier. Let's start with the global configuration test first. Because that's probably smaller.
Okay.
I'm guessing. So we see the general, so we see Jupiter show up. So Jupiter is all about JUnit 5.
Right. So
That's-
org.junit is the org.junit dot is
Whatever.
the package for JUnit 4. Org.junit.jupiter is the JUnit 5 package.
Right. So we see some changes up here. We notice that we're now explicit with the before, from before to before each.
Right.
Okay. And then one more change here. Assert throws. Okay. So let's see here. Let's close that. What does this say here? Assert throws. Set. Oh, I see what it is. It's the closure is taken away. I call it closure. That's not
right.
correct.
Got it.
But-
I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah, got it.
It's just not necessary, I guess. with
Right.
5.
So now if you do spotless apply, will it put that back? Does it?
Let's see. Because that's an easy one to just
Right.
track real
Watch
quick.
and see. What does it do?
Okay, so because I guess that should be the muscle memory is spotless apply, everything's good, Maven rewrite,
Right. Spotless apply again.
spotless apply again, and then really
Because-
start looking.
Yeah, Open Rewrite is not responsible for worrying about code formatting. They do a really good job at it, but we don't expect them to do
Yeah.
a bunch of code formatting.
So if we look here, we can tell it's done. It
Nice.
one-lined it
Right. Okay, good. So
because it's not necessary.
right,
anymore.
right. Exactly. Very nice. Okay.
All right, so that's that class. Not real exciting, other
Nope.
than this before.
Right. Well, and that's one that's in the JUnit 5 documentation for migration. They say before no longer exists, use before each.
Right.
And whereas you had before class, now use before all.
Oh, so that would be okay.
It's just
Just the-
they document that in their migration instructions. This is a replacement annotation for this previous annotation.
Okay. Now let's see. Oh, there's only a couple here too. Okay. Swap out our imports before to before each. That's it.
Okay, so but now this one has a complication.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so hiding in this one is JUnit 5 does not offer rules. And so the
Okay.
Jenkins rule thing there we need to replace. So if you open up your web browser, we can read about the Jenkins Java doc, for the with Jenkins annotation.
Okay, so hold that thought for a second. We had
Okay.
the same problem over here as well.
Oh, right. It's got a Jenkins rule also. Yep,
Right.
you're right. Okay.
So you want me to go where?
So on your web browser, so JavaDoc with Jenkins as a bicapitalized, camel cased. Exactly. JavaDoc with Jenkins, and that topmost link should give it, Jenkins core.
Okay.
And maybe that's not going to get us what we want because so now in the search up at the top right, we need something different. So JavaDoc Jenkins test harness.
Okay. Give me just a second. I lost my monitor. You still see it, but I don't see it.
Ah, okay.
Refresh rates are a thing for me. There we go. Okay. So you're saying we want to look for what again?
JavaDoc for Jenkins test harness. I don't remember the URL. It's certainly available. That's the one, topmost link. Okay, now in this one, search for with Jenkins as camel-cased.
The top one there.
Exactly, with Jenkins.
Okay.
So this provides us a nice sample explaining, in JUnit 4, we would annotate
the
at
rule.
rule public public Jenkins rule R equals new Jenkins rule.
Right.
That's not how you do it in JUnit 5. In JUnit 5, you annotate either the class or individual methods with Jenkins. So
Right.
you add the with Jenkins annotation,
Right.
and then add an argument that is JUnit Jenkins rule R.
Interesting.
So it looks it's effectively less magic, right? The idea is that I think they're trying to make it less magic.
Okay. So what we're saying here is we would say at with Jenkins.
Correct, and that completion is a good one. So
Okay.
you want to be sure that did it do the import for you? I assume it did.
It did right here, yes.
Good. Okay, good. All right. And you can delete, actually, while we're here and you've got your nice refactoring thing, can you change the variable name J to R
Oh,
so
yeah.
that we match their convention? And now did it automatically change it everywhere
No,
else?
it didn't, but that's okay. I'm fine with it breaking.
Oh,
Because
okay.
at least I know where it is.
All right,
Right.
great.
Because I have to pass it in. right?
Exactly, right.
So I'd rather just break it.
Okay,
And then-
great. All right.
So here what you're saying is we do Jenkins, rule.
So,
R.
yeah, this will be interesting. So this is, and then r.create freestyle project.
Right.
But this is a before each. Oh, it'll be fun to see if that's allowed. I hope the annotation works there. We'll see. Okay, now look for any other usage of what used to be J dot.
Nope.
Oh, good. Okay.
So it's either going to work wonderfully or it's going to blow up.
And we'll learn something either way.
Good. Okay. And then the other one, we'll say the same thing. That.
Right.
Don't need that anymore.
Right. And then look for a J dot anywhere.
This one, let's see how many, there's 3 of them.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just do this, right?
Right.
Because we've got one that's going to be
Yeah,
global.
you say Jenkins rule J. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. You can use J, and that way the variable that's used inside the method is ready to go.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. As magical as annotations are, you sort of get used to them, unfortunately.
Well, and that's right. Part of the game is deciding which form of magic is more comfortable for you. And
Okay. I think that's it. So those 2 files changed. Let's make sure I actually did that right, because there's 1, 2, 3. make sure I got my, I gotta get rid of this import. I guess do another spotless here before we do anything else. Just,
Well, and okay, for my sanity, at this stage, I will skip the spotless and just do a clean verify, but because spotless will sometimes remove imports that I wanted it to keep
oh, okay.
while I'm in a transition. In this case, in your case, I think we're okay, but let's go from here.
So let's take
And
a
we're
look
expecting this to fail, right? There's got to be something surprises.
I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been that much happen, so I don't know that I do expect it to fail.
Well, this is cool.
Well, the POM XML is probably not right.
And why would you think the POM's not right? That's because it's not mentioning JUnit 5?
Maybe.
Yeah, so JUnit's provided by the parent POM, so we don't have to do anything for that. And what the parent POM currently provides is JUnit 5, and inside JUnit 5, there's the JUnit 4 compatibility stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we get JUnit 4. Okay, so did the test fail, or?
So this is the global. So a legal state Jenkins instance is missing. So
good.
now this is what we were talking about. Is we weren't sure if that.
Well, and let's look at these tests. So,
Because what we did. Wait. Oh wait. It's not what I thought. Line 28. So
yeah,
I'm confused. Schedule build global configuration test. Schedule build global. Okay, it's this one. See, I thought it
Right.
was going to be this one
okay,
where we had passed in the Jenkins rule
right.
in the before each. That's not it. It's this one that's wrong.
Okay, and so maybe what that means is we must add the argument, and it's somehow
Even to set up.
Maybe. Let's try that and just see. Now, and one more. Let's see. We have before you do that, Darin. One more check.
Okay.
This is something I got burned on a few days ago. Show me what the import is that's providing the test annotation. Oh, it's using the JUnit 5 test annotation. Okay, so that's right. Good. Okay, so then the mistake I made, it did not make. What do you know? Open Rewrite was smarter than I was. Good.
Okay, let's see here. So interesting. So 28. What am I? Oh, it's get instance. So this global configuration all get instance.
It's assuming the existence of a
Jenkins
rule or of a Jenkins, and so let's give setup an argument that is Jenkins rule J. It'll be unused, or Jenkins rule unused, but it's really not unused. So just J or R. Let's try running it again. And I confess I have no idea if this will actually fix it.
I don't know either. Because it's acting like it's almost like we would need to. That's magic if it does work.
Well, it says that the way we communicate to JUnit 5 that we must have one of these is by giving this argument, even if the test itself. Well, no, is that we reduce the number of failures, right?
Oh, it's something address already in use.
Address already.
So it gets back to here. Failed to bind to this.
Okay.
So now I'm curious.
So how many failures did we have there?
Okay, well, before we look at that,
okay,
I want to look at the failures for. So there's JCask. Okay, schedule build action. This is the one I was looking for.
Okay.
So, because that's this one, this other one that we're looking at.
Ah, right.
Right. So it had 17 tests.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, it
8,
says
9,
no failures, no skips.
No failures. Yeah.
and no errors.
Right. And this one is the one where we passed in a Jenkins rule to where it was setting stuff up. So this one seems happy, right? So we know that it works in part of this,
Okay, right.
right?
Good.
So where it's failing is all in this global config side. So I'm going to close this so I don't do anything.
Okay.
So I'm guessing this needs to be refactored. The question is, how would we refactor
Okay, now
configuration?
So why would you?
Why do I think that?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so your thinking is that in order to call global configuration, we need a Jenkins rule first. What if we just put in a statement there that says, do what we did in the previous test, which was create a freestyle project inside the Jenkins? I confess I'm not sure. This is me guessing as well. So it's reporting that it couldn't bind an address. Oh no, it's saying that the Jenkins instance is missing. Okay, right. So
but the root cause of that is failed to bind because the Jenkins instance is missing. It's a circular
I see.
problem. So the real problem
Okay.
is it's not seeing that Jenkins is there.
yeah. So let's do something with that Jenkins rule. So I propose right after the
Well-
opening brace.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
So global configuration comes from Jenkins model. How can I get, so I could get global configuration from, let's try this. I got another idea. So if I do this, can I do,
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so you're thinking, what if we, instead of asking the global configuration object for its own,
self?
yeah,
But
just
it's
say,
not there.
and there's not a get global configuration?
Get global node properties.
No, that's not it. Okay. Well, but remembering r.getInstance isn't the thing I think that you want, or is it? I thought you wanted r.jenkins dot something.
Oh, wait, you're right.
Because R is the Jenkins rule, right? So lowercase j, right? So now is there a thing that will get us global configuration? There
Nope,
isn't.
same
Nope,
problem.
same thing. Huh. Interesting.
So, okay, but do I need, where else could I go with this? So that's the problem is global configuration isn't,
It's as though global configuration is being called before there's a Jenkins there to talk to, right?
right.
So I really do think let's try the wild experiment of back to the other file we had changed, and let's grab its the starting line from its setup method.
You lost me. Hang on. Say it
Okay,
again.
so go back to schedule build action test,
Right.
and in its first thing that was called, there is this
Yep.
project equals. Take that first line, and you don't even have to assign it. Just do a j.create freestyle project.
Okay. Oops.
The idea being, if we do that, and it will be R, right?
Yeah.
So if we do that, we know that Jenkins is initialized then.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So it doesn't see that.
Yeah, so you'll need
Oh,
to
it's-
do the import or
No, it's saying I have to do a throws IO exception.
oh right. Okay, fair. That's reasonable. Okay.
Oops. And import that. Come on. Why does it not know what IO exception is? That's weird. So, boy, that just doesn't feel right, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Experiments often are, on the path to figuring something out. Okay, so it's running the tests now, and we've got a little bit, because it was a test failure we were seeing, not a compilation failure, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
just
we
fine.
don't know yet if the idea works out or not.
I still think it's something about global configuration. But maybe not. Maybe if it wakes up, then we'll see. No, same problem.
Nope, same failure.
Okay, good. That's at least
Well,
consistent.
now, and it's also possible to have both JUnit 5 and JUnit 4 tests in the same
Right.
plugin. So we
let's
could
do
always
this.
revert this thing.
Yep, discard this,
Right.
which is completely fine.
Right. Now now let's run all the tests again.
And then that brings up a bigger question of, okay, how do we deal with those handful of singletons that exist?
And I truly don't know in the general case. I would go looking for global configuration in tests that are using with Jenkins.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, maybe we can find something like that. Let's see if GitHub will tell us something like that.
And this is probably, it had better pass because it was passing before.
Well, and if it doesn't, that's a hint of something different, right?
Yeah, and it passed. Okay, good.
And
All right.
the thing that we were using was called global configuration, right?
Global configuration is correct.
Okay.
It's from extension point.
Okay, so custom folder icon might have one.
Yeah, there's nothing obvious there.
Okay, I've got global configuration category in a custom in a test. Oh, that's cool. Okay. But they're not using a setup method. So, Darin, maybe that's another angle.
Oh, yeah. Let's try that. So let me rewrite it again.
Okay.
Since I already
Oh, right,
reverted it.
since we reverted it.
Yeah. That's fine. Well, which should run fast now. So
Right.
interesting. So if we got rid of the setup completely,
Yeah, moved it into the
whoever
and look
needs
at-
it.
Yeah, move it into those places that need it. Now, when I look at custom folder icon, it's got a Jenkins rule on a test as an argument to a test method, and it does a suppress warnings unused for the Jenkins rule. Which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It says, okay, I need a Jenkins rule, but I need the side effect of it, not that I need to use it directly.
Right. And now I'm stuck. I don't remember it taking that long before.
No, it's probably just busily parsing. There we go.
You're correct. Okay. All right. So now that's back. Let's see.
Okay, and that one should be unmodified, right? That was the one that was working.
I would
for
hope
us.
so, yes.
Okay.
'Cause-
and-
Yeah. We'll find out later. And then this one, now we're back to right here. Let's get back to this. View. Get rid of that. Okay. So what you're thinking is just do this.
Yeah, what if we take the stone knife approach and paste that into every one of the test methods, just to see?
Okay. I'll leave that before each. No, I'll take it out.
And I think you're going to need to do it into every one. And admittedly, this is not something we want to commit. This is not let's do this for sure. But let's see, is this enough already to get us past it?
Right.
And now each of these will need as a parameter their Jenkins rule. And when the exception was thrown, it was throwing the exception inside our setup method, right? It was not throwing the exception inside one of the tests. It was before any of the tests were actually run.
Correct. I'm just going slow just so I can sort of understand not necessarily understand what's going on, but at least see what's. Okay. And then you're saying we're going to do this, even though
right,
that doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. Because I remember that there was that many that failed. So
Good.
Except round trip config. Okay, so where is J? Oh, I gotta get rid of this. And I need to add with Jenkins this. Okay, get rid of.
Well, and in that first test that you've got, we need to change either the argument needs to be Jenkins rule J, or the reference to it needs to be R.
Yep, I was just trying to get it to blow up first. I'll just go J and put all of them that way.
Okay.
That way it's just the same. Whoops. This doesn't make me feel any better. Not sure exactly why I don't feel better about it.
Well, I mean, I don't think this is the end of the solution. We may have to ask one of the JUnit 5 experts to guide us on, hey, how is this supposed to be done?
Right. I guess I could have just done a mass replace, but there's only 12 of them. So
yeah.
Okay. I guess give it a shot.
Sure. Oh, and we could narrow it to test only that one test.
Well, no, all of them were breaking though.
No, what I'm saying is test that one class.
Oh, true. No, that's fine. So I want to make sure I'm not breaking anything else.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to find my notes. Oh, I remember what it was. Okay, because this is the big one. Now we're doing global config. Now, if this works, what does that tell us?
Well, I think it says, okay, putting the Jenkins rule at the inside each test got us passing tests. Then I would say we try moving. Okay, now let's try moving the global config back into a before each method.
Well, okay. Oh, that's spotless. Okay, I don't care about that because it made
for
it
now.
through.
For now, it's harmless, right?
Yeah. So where it was blowing up is it just didn't like it as a setup. And remember, it said address was already in use.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't getting shut down quick enough.
Oh, right. Wait a sec.
There's got to be. We got to give it time to tear down before it does the next one.
And maybe this is hiding. Well, I don't know. Okay, so we annotated the class with Jenkins. We used
Correct.
the with Jenkins annotation on the class. We could also annotate individual tests.
Oh.
But I think they all require
global configuration.
I think they all require global config. So,
Yep.
so let's try. I still think let's try putting a before each, and let's try moving it back to where it was originally.
Okay. So we're thinking before each. Oh, I don't remember what it is.
A public void. Perfect. Yeah.
The initial. I'm trying to get it back to what it was initially without reverting everything. So
Okay.
what we're saying here is go ahead and do this,
Right.
but then what?
That's all. Let's try that for now.
This is what we had before and it didn't work.
Right. But let's try it. Just
So do I need to rip out all the other global configs?
leaving all the others because they say that they've got an argument now. And this time, let's do Maven clean minus D. Minus big D test equals
Whatever this is.
star config star. So asterisk config
Oh. Is it upper C?
upper C.
Configuration. Because the others... Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do global configuration.
Even if we only get a sum reduction in tests, that's okay.
Yeah, this will work.
And then verify.
Verify. Okay.
Are there two equals? No, equals.
Shouldn't have to put... I just needed quotes around it.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so what we have here, 13 runs, 12 errors. Okay.
Okay, so that wasn't a good
But
trick.
it failed to bind, which is actually, it's still the same problem. I think is this is waking up, and we're never giving it a teardown. Like, is there an
okay.
after? Is there an after each?
There is, but we shouldn't have to do anything. It should tear down the Jenkins rule all by itself. There is such a thing as after each. There absolutely is, but I don't know what we would put in it.
This is what it's telling me, because it failed to bind.
Right.
Because
right. It's as though the Jenkins is still running when the new one when the
Address
next
already in
test
use.
starts. When the next test starts, the previous one is still there. We don't have a Jenkins rule. We don't have a rule somewhere else in this file that we're missing, right? The rule import is gone.
The rule import is gone.
Okay, so then that I don't have an answer on this one, Darin.
I wonder if, because it worked when we put it in each. Okay, let's do this. Let's try this.
Oh, wait a sec. Rather than before each, could we do before all?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. That was one of the ideas I had.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's
because before each says do this
set up teardown, set up
once
teardown.
and only once.
Yeah.
Is that right? Now I got to look up the documentation.
You do that. I'm going to finish tearing out
Okay, good.
the global configs because
Before each, okay, so before each, no, so before all is only going to do it once. Before each was executing it every time. Then again, maybe executing it once is the more appropriate thing to do.
anyway.
Yeah, because do we really need to get a new...
Global config every time.
Right, so let's, and our with Jenkins annotation is on the top level
It's on
at the
global
class level, right?
Right.
Okay.
Let's try this If
Okay.
this fails, then we'll go back to before each and then annotate the 12 test methods with
right.
Jenkins.
We could try annotating them individually. Yeah.
Right. Because I think if that's not it. Oh, that was
Okay.
a
What's the
fast one.
message?
Referral must be static. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Right. Fair enough. Okay.
And this has to be static as well. Good grief.
Makes sense. Because there's only one of them, so
Yeah. Let's see, 41. Okay, variation on a theme. Let's see. Failed to bind. Address already in use.
still the same thing.
I'm curious. So it's expecting. So it's acting like it doesn't want. Nothing like silence when you're watching video.
Yeah, well, sorry that I'm not sure what's going on. So I am baffled by what
So
the expectation is.
Here's how I would do this.
Okay.
Because we're trying to get from 4 to 5.
Right.
We've tried a few different things. It's just not working. So at this point, I would say I would revert this one,
Right.
make a note of something about global configuration doesn't like it,
Right.
and call it done, right?
Yeah,
Does that seem
because
reasonable?
that gives us at least JUnit 5 has been implemented on one of them.
Yeah. I guess we're sort of, wimping out on it, but
Sure.
It's-
Admitting that a fractional result is better than no result.
yeah. Okay, and then I can go ahead and revert that because, well, I can. Okay. So the only thing we're doing is we're just changing this, and it was all happy. And that looks good. Yep. Okay, so, but we'll make a note in this, and then we'll try to figure out some other way of dealing with the other one.
Right.
So what is going to be our top level? Just convert partially?
Yeah.
Partially?
Yeah, I wouldn't even, say convert a test from JUnit
Oh, there you
5, JUnit 4 to JUnit 5.
From JUnit
4 to 5.
JUnit 5.
Yeah.
Used, well, I'm gonna put in here the reason why. So open rewrite to do the conversion version. However, one test, schedule, build, global configuration test would not work due to what we think is a quote-unquote problem with global configuration singleton.
Right. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly surprising me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on a branch. I'm going to commit it. Oh, yes, I forgot to do that. Okay, let's stage it. Triple check it. Got the asserts. There's the with Jenkins, and off we go. Okay. Now I'll commit it. I will push it up to my origin.
Oh, and did you do a spotless apply?
Of course not.
Oh, well, let's check that just in case.
Anything changes? Okay. Well, now's a good time to check that, just in case, because we've already committed it. Spotless apply. Wow. It's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers are not working. Okay. So nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Good. All right.
Because that one we'd sort of waved off anyway because
Right.
it was already working.
It was working, tidy. Yeah, so now we can submit a pull request.
Okay. So do that. Master that. And okay. Oh, by the way, fourth wall. I think it was this one. This template is not the same as the others. This
Oh,
has
it
the old-
isn't?
it has either the old template or
Oh, now that's weird. So
because it's got the Jenkins issue at the top.
you are correct. We need to fix that.
You want to do that in the background while we're
Sure,
or
I
do you
can
want,
do that.
Or do you want to just not deal with it right now?
No, go ahead. I can fix it right away.
Because I can cancel this and not.
Yeah,
that way pick it up.
give me just
Okay.
a little bit, because that's one where I've wanted to get rid of any of the custom templates that I had created because standard is better than better.
Standard is better than better. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, because I remember there was one, and I couldn't remember which one it was today, and I forgot to send you the message when I saw it. So we attempted the move. Well, we were successful in getting one test moved, but there's something about that global configuration, and there may be other singletons like that may not play nicely.
Right.
So-
and so the example
That's
that
fine.
I found in my exploring was get sample repo rule.
Mm-hmm.
So Jenkins rule clearly has support for it, but when I need a repository in a Jenkins or in a Git automated test, I've got a
Mm-hmm.
rule that does create me a repository and gives me some convenience methods on it.
Right. Okay.
Interesting. Just a minute.
Take your time. Well, Mark is dorking around with that too. I've been looking at some other ones. Like, I'm just curious. Removing Hamcrest and removing all these other things.
Oh, I like Hamcrest. I will be loath to remove Hamcrest.
Hey, I'm just things I saw.
Uh-huh. Cool.
That's fine. You know, but it's just. Are you done?
I am. So if you
Okay.
if you do a git pull, you'll see it.
I shouldn't need to do a git pull, not to do the PR. Oh, I do see it. Why would I need it in the template? The template's firing in.
Yeah, is the template should be coming from the remote side, shouldn't it?
It should be.
Maybe not though.
I don't know. I'll just go ahead and put it in PR with this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely,
For this one, it's.
no problem.
But now I just have to figure out how to answer the questions. Okay, so please. Okay, we've already done the describe. Let me clean that up a little bit. Okay. One time. Okay, good. Testing done.
Automated test pass.
Yep. Did I get in the wrong place? I did. Okay, make sure you're opening from a branch. Here, I'm going to slide this over because it's a little too small for me. Yep, I'm in a branch. Ensure your pull request title. Describe what I did. Oh, this is the new one. Or
Oh,
did
good.
you already have? Maybe I'm. No, this is the new one.
Good,
Okay.
good. So
Weird. Okay, so create. And now you should see it coming in.
all right,
You're going to merge this one or no?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, then
there's
I'll just
no-
sit here for a second. Then.
No reason for us to delay too terribly long.
No,
It'll-
it's out
it'll
of
have-
date with base branch.
Why would it be out of date with the base branch? Huh?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh, because you just pushed up the
Oh, right, I did. Yeah,
template.
That's easy. I should be able to adjust that
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
because that shouldn't stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and we're about 10 minutes till the hour. We're going to try one more.
I'm game for it, or we can get this one all the way to done. Let's see. So
Let's
you
get it
said
to
that
done.
this one's. You said it was out of date with the base branch.
Yep. I can
Okay.
I can click on this button here to take care of
Oh,
it.
good. Yes, you do that because
I'll do it.
mine is not offering that.
Oh, shoot. Okay. So I've got to. So if I look at it from here, let me get another. Let me see what I see. If I see what you see. Okay, we'll do this. Pull this over here. If we take a look at that.
Okay, so I've got it. I'm ready to do a push. If you're okay with me.
Yeah, go
pushing.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I just did a GHPR checkout of the checkout and did a merge of master. So
Okay.
it should be, yeah. So it's now follows master.
Okay, refresh. Yep.
And now if we look at the checks tab, it should show us that there's a new check running.
And that'll take minutes. So,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
if my guess is let's see, on this particular plugin, the typical duration is 5 minutes.
yeah, let's not worry about that for now. I think
Right.
we'll just let it run. So, successful, not successful?
Yeah, not as successful as I wanted, but then again, JUnit 5 in the Jenkins development environment is still evolving, right?
Right.
It's not the same level of citizen as JUnit 4 is, right? I'm not aware of all the details that I've learned by experience from Jenkins 4 use over years.
So I'm curious, should we do what we did here, leaving it in a split mode?
Well, that's for me an argument why this is a maintainer decision, right?
Yeah.
A maintainer makes that kind of decision. If a non-maintainer contributor were to offer this to me on some of the other plugins that I maintain, I just reject it because I want to be consistent with within the plugin with which JUnit technique I'm using. And if the plugin adapts well to using JUnit 5, great, I'll use it everywhere. If it's halfway, that makes it more complicated to maintain. Now,
But would you consider this one more complicated to maintain because a whole test is covered?
Given that there are only
only
two
two
tests
tests,
in
yeah.
or two test classes in this thing, it's not a bad deal.
Right. I think where you're saying it is if all of my classes, if all of my tests in a class are happy with JUnit 5, then and that so it's as a whole it's okay. But like what we had with global configuration, that was also not good as a whole.
Right.
Right. So to me, I mean, again, you're the primary maintainer. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine, not a big deal. But I guess you can't have it half and half.
Inside
It either
a
has to be
single
5.
class. Right. You either annotate it with JUnit 5 annotations or you annotate it with JUnit 4.
Okay. Well, if you're a plugin
And
maintainer,
that was the fun one for me over a few days ago. I was working on a plugin that I'd never done anything with before. And I made the mistake of putting a JUnit 5 annotation on the class and then wrote all the code in JUnit 4. And so I was using org JUnit Jupyter.test or .api.test, but then trying to use Jenkins rule. And it was perplexed. And I had to stare at it, shake my head, and I need to use the JUnit 4 annotation in this case, not the JUnit 5 annotation. So it's mixing is going to be more difficult, but I know there are a number of developers in the Jenkins plugin maintainer pool who prefer strongly JUnit 5 and who are actively working to extend JUnit 5 support further into the Jenkins development environment.
and at least there's no JUnit 6 right now, so we're okay.
No, and the JUnit maintainers, I'm actually really pleased. They do cool stuff. They make me think really hard. The transition from 3 to 4 added some really cool features, and JUnit 5 has some really elegant features. It's worth thinking about how those really smart people consider what it means to write tests.
Okay, we'll be back on Wednesday. And I still didn't find. Do you remember what we're doing? I still didn't find my paperwork.
Let's take a quick look. Let's see. I see.
I wrote it down and I'm not on that computer.
Adding pipeline examples.
Pipeline examples. That's it.
Yes. Okay. And this one will be, well, we ran a She Code Africa project trying to do that one and found out it's surprisingly challenging. So we'll have some good fun with that.
Fun. Real joy. That's fun for Mark and not fun for Darin.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see you back on Wednesday if you're watching this in real time and same time, and then we'll get into everything else. But that's right. It's pipeline help and all the other things. So everybody have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you again on Wednesday.